keep them moving though. I've seen maybe 2 people come back out. Mine's on. Hello.
Evolve is a 4 vs 1 competitive and cooperative shooter. It's set on a outer frontier planet called Sheer. The concept is that you've got 4 players who can play as a hunter team, who are trying to take down a monster, but also be controlled by a player.
Evolve is being developed by Turtle Rock Studios, the folks behind Left 4 Dead and Counter-Strike Condition Zero, so we're expecting the cooperative gameplay to be the real hook here.
Everybody! Yeah!
And the game is just so much fun. I love it.
It was awesome. Fun as hell. Thank you for having us play it. It was awesome.
We were just screaming on the comm.
Do you think you guys will be all playing this together when it comes out?
Absolutely, without a doubt. It's an amazing game.
What did you think?
Holy, excuse me, shit.
But yeah, it's a gorgeous game. I think it's going to do really, really well. I'm all about multiplayer games these days.
And we are jumping right into this game that is well underway here.
Congratulations to Evolve for winning 4 E3 2014 Video Game Critics Awards. The awards for the best of E3 have been announced, and Evolve took home the most wins for Best of Show, Best Console Game, Best Online Multiplayer, and Best Action Game.
My favorites here at E3, and actually a nominee for GameSpot's Best of E3 2014. Yes.
After 4 years of development, 1 delay, a closed alpha, and an open beta,
Evolve is a deeply rewarding multiplayer experience that packs both brains and brawn.
IGN gave it a 9! They gave it a 9!
No fucking
They gave it a 9!
There is absolutely no fun factor that comes with running circles around the map looking for one target for that long.
I'm largely just doing the same thing over and over.
It's just run on steroids the entire game, jetpacking over rocks. There's a monster, bam, 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 bam. Run, bam, 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 run. That's all you do. It's fucking mind-numbingly boring after an hour.
Like, how many games have you played in your life where you're like, yeah, I want to run some more?
$15 for one, and I repeat, one fucking monster.
For $14.99, one fucking monster for $14.99.
You're giving me a gun that's painted blue, and you want to charge me $2.
$130 worth of downloadable content that isn't even on the Season's Pass.
It's not even good DLC. It's not even good cosmetic skins. Look at this shit. They didn't put effort into it. What the fuck?
The content in this game is laughable for a full price $34.99 AAA game.
Now the matchmaking is simply broken from the start and is doomed to never work.
For a cooperative shooter fun style game, it's good. If you, again, that's what you're looking for, you might love this game. But how many people out of all the gamers on the planet are looking just for that is the question.
If you thought the matchmaking was bad when it first came out, now with an all-time low number of players, good luck on getting into a full lobby or getting your choice of characters now.
Because of the hype and because of all the talk and it's the makers of Left 4 Dead, we're supposed to forgive that. No!
A decent player base at launch, and then seemingly overnight, that player base becomes a shell of itself. And I'm not talking about like, the hype died down and the player base is stabilized. I mean, fucking sharp decline, craziness. Not like, oh, some people bought it and they didn't like it, some people might have returned it, whatever. I mean, like, 90% of the people that were playing it are no longer playing it, and they moved on to something else. And the reason this is crazy is because this is happening to games that get good reviews, are generally well received by the players that buy the game, but just die like 2 weeks later. It's crazy how frequently this has happened.
In 2016, the game actually went free to play in Evolve Stage 2, but as you can see from this graph right here, the peak player counts during this time quickly dwindled into a puddle of nothing weeks after the launch of Stage 2.
Hopefully 3 years from now, right? When you've bought some game and it let you down, it didn't live up to your expectations, you can always be like, you know what, I'm gonna play Evolve, because goddamn, that game's still fun.
稲船刑事です。23年間カプコンにいて、鬼武者、デッドライジング、そしてロックマンなど数多くのゲームを手掛けてきました。新しいコンセプトのプロジェクトを考えています。皆さんの力が必要です。ぜひ一緒に作りましょう。ゲームクリエイターとして今までゲーマーの心に残るような作品をいっぱい作ってきて、キャラクターもいっぱい生み出してきました。3年前に独立してコンセプトっていう会社を作って、今までやりたかったことと納得してやれるゲーム作りを今も続けてます。数年前に長年の夢だったゲームを立ち上げることができたんだけど、キャンセルされてしまって、自分自身も失望したけどファン自身もすごい失望したと思ってます。もう二度とファンに失望させないように考え、たどり着いたのがキックスターターでした。キックスターターはゲームクリエイターとファンをつないでコミュニケーションして一緒に作れる素晴らしいシステムだと思っています。昔の心を持った新しい作品を生み出すこと、新しいキャラクターを生み出すことは可能です。原点に立ち返ってジャンプアクションのゲームを作って、それが新しいそこに革新を呼ぶようなアイデアも加えて、そして皆さんに届けられたらこんな幸せなことはないですね。これが私たちとファンの皆様の新作マイティナンバー9です。みんなで力を合わせていいゲームを作っていきましょう。みんなの力を貸してください。キックスターターで夢を叶えましょう。
I'm not really too much of an emotional person per se, but when I was watching the video, I actually started crying.
When we came to Inafune-san, we said, you know, you really need to look at Kickstarter. Please consider it. Inafune-san said, sure, this looks great. We should do this.
キックスターターはそれが作れるっていうことなんで、すごく自分としては夢がある種叶う部分で、ファンも夢が叶うんじゃないかな。
And so actually, I have a small present for all the fans who have been so supportive. It's still something that I think you'll all be very happy with.
キックスターターで夢を叶えましょう。
I would like to have Inafune-san press the beautiful green launch button.
じゃあいきますよ。
Here we go. And?
マイティナンバー9。
このプロジェクトでは個人的な目標とか何かありますか？
そうですね、いろんな目標ありますけど、やっぱりみんなをハッピーにしたいなっていうのがね、実はユーザーだけハッピーにしたいと思ってないんですよ。今期の利益とか株主に対してとかっていうの一切そこには存在しないんで、ユーザーさえ喜んで自分たちが喜べれば成功だから、いくら儲かるとかそれはその次でいいわけですよね。でもやっぱゲーム作りにおいていくら儲かるが先で自分たちの喜びは後っていう作り方じゃないものにできたら、それは一つの目標達成かなっていうふうに思います。
After what felt like decades of watching Capcom completely drop the ball with the Mega Man franchise, and this was the big darling right here.
By the end of its campaign, Mighty No. 9 ended up raising close to $4 million from 67,000 backers.
Each and every stretch goal was smashed, re-smashed, and then smashed again. So despite asking for $900,000 for the base game, Concept was able to amass a grand total of over $4 million, making it the most successful video game Kickstarter at the time.
You had the renowned Keiji Inafune as its lead director. The art for the game looked amazing, and this just seemed like a great recipe for a new brand of action platformer in the absence and neglect of the Mega Man series.
Delays? Sure, here's a buck or two. Wait, 3 separate pleas for more funding. Wait, whoa, you're being delayed again?
So Mighty No. 9 came out this week. Not good.
After quite a lot of waiting and delays, this is the Kickstarter darling.
Actually, like, way overfunded, and then we waited and waited and waited. It went through some art style changes. There were tons of delays. Got this
little dash.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Do you like awesome things that are awesome?
Wait, what?
Dash.
Yeah.
And make the bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
This is one, I've been doing this for 5 years. This is my 5-year mark. This might be the worst trailer I've seen in my entire 5-year career.
The dash makes a big difference. The dash, I love games with the dash.
Dash infinitely through the air anyway, which trivialized certain stages, letting players skip a lot of sections.
On Reddit, saying that the load times on Wii U are 30 to 45 seconds.
Which is like Bloodborne bad.
And that's not, this isn't like a visually stunning game by any means. It's a platformer.
And take their knowledge.
So this is pretty cool. It reminds me of the, wow.
Okay. Oh man. Yeah, that's a great looking enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, you're shooting it in the face like you do.
Oh, I'm getting kind of wrecked.
Just zap him. There we go. Like, I'm not a hardcore Mega Man fan, but I've always had an appreciation, and I think so much of that is kind of rooted in like the aesthetics and the style. And this just doesn't really scratch that itch for me.
Its sickly color palette and flat lighting do no favors for its generic Saturday morning cartoon art style.
It just looks like a game you'd download on iOS if you typed in Mega Man.
Cutscenes are particularly disappointing, with characters that simply sway in place as they talk through static mouths. The English voice acting is too slow and abrasive to stomach.
The Japanese government won't let us intervene until we know the cause of the malfunctions.
Mighty No. 9 was promised to come out on 10 different platforms altogether, which is an insane amount for any studio or studios to handle. This wasn't even the biggest thing Inti Creates struggled with, however, as that distinction goes to Mighty No. 9's multiplayer. Wait, it had fucking multiplayer?!
Andrew Goldfarb, who works here, is our news editor, kickstarted this game for $100 3 years ago and has yet to receive pretty much any of his backings. Also, he kickstarted the Vita version specifically when was asked to pick a version, and that's been delayed indefinitely.
Yeah.
There was still the matter of physical rewards that they had to ship. Certain tiers promised things like posters, t-shirts, art books, strategy guides, physical game boxes, and manuals. Now you would think that they cannot fuck up boxes and manuals, but then again, this is Mighty No. 9, so they would fuck it up.
Physical rewards were only shipped out to Kickstarter supporters over a year later.
The first problem is that you have to assemble the box yourself. The manual doesn't even fit inside the box. You may recall from the box's reward description that it was supposed to ship with a printed instruction manual already inside. In other words, not only was the box supposed to be pre-assembled, more importantly, the manual was meant to fit in the pre-assembled box. And the balls on Inafune to start another video game Kickstarter even before Mighty No. 9 was finished. Not only did this project rightfully fail to meet the 800,000 Kickstarter goal, it was later announced that a Chinese game company called Fuse would be financing this game.
今期の利益とか株主に対してとかっていうの一切そこには存在しないんで、ユーザーさえ喜んで自分たちが喜べれば成功。だからいくら儲かるとか、それはその次でいいわけですよね。
The bad guys cry like an anime fan on prom night.
Thank you. I'm Sean. I'm from Hello Games. We're a tiny little indie studio. We're a group of friends making No Man's Sky. It's a science fiction game. This universe that we've created, it's so vast, it's so boundless. It's actually infinite, and we don't even know what's out there. And in No Man's Sky, we're trying to create this infinite procedural universe. And I guess I wanted to explain, or at least try to explain a little bit of how that works. And we actually generate this entire galaxy of stars, and every single one of those stars has its own solar system with planet-sized planets filled with life and ecology. Like, I can walk in any direction for days and days and weeks if I want, and I'll walk all the way around the planet eventually and come right back round to where I started. And it will go from day to night and back to day again, and that's just because we're orbiting around a sun, like a real sun. An entire universe, generated by the computer, and then we're going to set people loose in it. And if I fly away, then it's all just thrown away. But if I come back again, it will be generated again exactly the same way because of maths, and maths always works out the same.
We should know what's going to be in this game.
Not all.
Well,
It's
it's procedurally generated.
Yeah, there
it's
are
totally
millions
random.
of planets.
Let's talk about procedurally generated and how bullshit that is.
No!
There's a lot of planets in No Man's Sky, like a near infinite, like a really large number. So it's like 18 quintillion planets.
18 quintillion planets. Were you ever worried the game might get boring after visiting the first trillion planets?
Every one of these points of light is a sun. And every one of those suns has its own solar system with planet-sized planets orbiting around it. Those have life, ecology. And I could even go a little faster. Now, most of these places have never been visited. Many of them never will be. Every planet in every solar system is fully destructible.
So No Man's Sky, what am I doing? What do I do?
And they can do whatever they want.
It's about fucking doing whatever. That's all it is.
No Man's Sky is gonna be the biggest video game ever. You can do whatever you want.
Tell me about some of the different things that we will find when we visit these planets.
Well, in terms of ecology, like almost anything's possible.
So you can't score this game, right?
You can't.
I'm
Just
gonna
do
get
it. It's just an art game.
You can't score.
Don't worry
It's
about it.
automatic 10 by default.
It's got trading, fighting, exploring, survival, and it's a huge game. Thank you. I could have ended the demo with some, pre-scripted crazy thing that would happen. You know what I mean? The normal thing of like, and then a monster emerges from behind the mountains. But that would be really misleading,
Because that's not your game.
Yeah.
But it's such a bold idea. I mean, you guys are literally building your own, massively multiplayer world that's procedurally generated. And is there anything that this game doesn't have?
In our game, when you stand, on a planet and you see a mountain, and if that mountain is 3 miles away or wherever it is, and you can see it, you can walk there.
That mountain is not just a backdrop. You can walk all the way to the top of that mountain.
And everything just works.
And one of the great things about having a fully dynamic game engine is all of this just works.
Some people might expect things that aren't in the game,
Can you land on a comet?
Yeah, at the moment you can land on asteroids.
Are planets the size of Earth?
Yeah.
Will you be able to play with your friends?
Yeah.
Do the animals eat each other?
People go out, they can find resources, create products, and they can sell them at trading posts or at space stations. It's full of choices. Like here, we're at the boundary between two warring factions. I could join in, I could take sides. You will see trade ships kind of exiting the space station, often going to freighters, docking with the freighters, picking up some resources from them, ferrying the goods into the space station. You'll see them flying all the way down to the planet, gathering resources from trade posts, ferrying resources back up to the space station or back up to freighters, and you get to kind of sit there and watch the kind of trade economy just in motion.
You're looking a little wild-eyed, man. We're getting real close to June 21st.
Yeah, suddenly I have a feeling like I don't want to release this game.
Release the game!
한평생이 지난 후. 여섯 시간 30분 후.
Be super clear. No Man's Sky is not a multiplayer game. Please don't go in looking for that experience.
He later added, the chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this large is pretty much zero.
Can you grief other players?
A little bit.
Can you customize the look of your character?
Sort of.
Do we ever get to see ourselves?
No, you don't see yourself, so the only way for you to know what you look like is for somebody else to see you.
Can you run into other people, other players on the game?
Yes, but the chances of that are incredibly rare, just because of the size of what we're building.
Wow.
The chances of two players ever crossing paths in a universe this large is pretty much zero.
Yeah, our streams are exactly lined up. If you go look at my stream, we're looking at the exact same area right now if you don't move.
There are infinitesimal chances of, very, very small chances of you even coming across a place that another player has been to.
Yep, that's the same one.
I'm not going to worry about frame rate or whether we've got the videos synced up or exclusives or whatever else.
But for PS4 we're getting an evenly frame-paced delivery at a straight 30 FPS. And when it can't keep up we see dips to the 20 frames per second line like this, and sometimes even lower. Curiously, it doesn't necessarily come down to the complexity of the environment, and even a largely waterlogged area like this has the game running at 15 FPS.
The PlayStation froze.
Everything appears to have frozen.
What? My game just froze again.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Did the game just crash? The PS4 just completely crashed. $60!
The soil is not alien for him. And the game fucking crashed.
It isn't pre-patch, it's post-patch, unfortunately. This is post-patch. This is 1.03.
That's my problem. Accept and report.
All of this just works.
I think enough people are interested in this game that there's a good chance it'll do well.
I worry about, like, disappointing people, you know. Hi, I'm Sean Murray from Hello Games, and this is No Man's Sky.
And my game crashed. What do you know?